We've been at our Denver home for 2.5 weeks, and in 24 hours, most of us are flying to Florence, Italy to start a 17-day tour through Europe. We've been documenting our travels on this channel for a couple of years, but lately, some of you have been asking us for an episode that covers our life between adventures. So here it is. And after planning the outline, I can say I think this is going to be a surprisingly interesting look behind the curtain. Not just at our daily life when we're in Denver, but also into the typical preparations for heading out on another trip. We'll be answering questions like, how does Phil get a killer workout at home without a proper gym? How and where do you all work and school when you're at home? What does the inside of your safe look like? How and what do you pack for longer trips? How do you keep Colt's geckos alive when you're gone for weeks at a time? What's the Denver airport check-in experience like for 1K flyers? We're gonna cover all of these and more, so let's get started.
First thing that we have to do is stop by Stanley Marketplace and go to June Ruby. It is my favorite boutique store. I stop in and go there before every single trip. I'm sure you've heard me talk about them.
And June Ruby happens to be at a very cool place called Stanley Marketplace. It is new and it's hip. It's one of those really cool neighborhood areas where they've got everything from restaurants to retail. So we packed up Brooklyn and Colt. We're all heading over there. I'm gonna grab a bottle of wine from the liquor store over there so that we can have that tonight. And it's gonna take us a little bit longer than usual to get there because it snowed overnight here and the roads are still a little bit slick.
I've been coming to June Ruby for about a decade, and since I came to the store so much, Michelle and I, the owner, became pretty good friends. And so now I come before every single trip we go on.
Hey! Where are you off to this time?
We're going to Europe. We're going to 5 different cities in Europe.
Yay!
So all cold weather stuff.
All right, we have a lot to choose from. So I'm thinking maybe some dresses and some cute sweaters.
Dresses, sweaters, perfect.
All right, well, let's go.
How fun is this?
So cute on you.
It's perfect for Paris.
Yay!
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. Have such a good trip. I'm so excited for you guys. Bye.
This is where I take my sewing classes. This is where I do my engineering classes. This is where I do my gymnastics.
This place is also where I get my hair cut, and when we used to go out for lunch a lot, this is where we would go a lot of the time. There's a market in here so we can buy charcuterie for parties, and I'm gonna go get that bottle of wine. Bubbly.
Well, it's about 3 o'clock, which means Reagan's getting home from school, so we have to head back and take her to swim practice and start the packing.
First things first, we're gonna have that champagne, actually it's Prosecco, in honor of our trip to Florence tomorrow. All right, we can do this because we actually aren't dropping Reagan off at swim today, so we don't have to drive anymore tonight. Her mom, Sarah, is gonna come pick her up in just a little bit and then take her for the rest of the night since we're heading out of town tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers. I drink well with others, don't I?
Always.
And now it's time to check in for our flight. Love the apps. I don't know what we did before the apps. Actually, I do know what we did, and it sucked. As of now, we do not have upgrades, but we're always hoping for that upgrade. We're on the list. Actually, it's not quite that easy. There's a snag. I uploaded all the passports yesterday, but some reason it's not in here. So I gotta go get Brooklyn's passport. I brought all 4 just in case. And it's a good thing I did because I have to rescan all 4 passports. But we are all checked in, our bags are checked, and we have our boarding passes.
You wanna say goodbye to Reagan?
Bye, Reagan.
Bye. Phil and I use our medium-sized bags when we have long trips like this. So 1 for Phil, 1 for Aaron, a little one for Colt, and a little one for Brooklyn.
Before I can pack anything, I have to do some more laundry.
I need to get some inventory before I start putting the clothes in the suitcase because I like to be very strategic and precise about what I pack so that I'm not packing too much. Never been an overpacker. Don't recommend it.
All right, since I'm waiting on laundry anyway, let's go downstairs. We're gonna make some dinner and get these kids fed.
Since we're gonna be gone for a while, we need to have as much of the leftovers as possible. We don't wanna create more waste than necessary. So we're all gonna have a little hodgepodge. Colt, Brooklyn, we've got some leftover tortillas, we've got extra cheese. How about quesadillas?
No, I want cake.
I'm gonna have a cake.
We've got some sandwich stuff, some ham, some turkey, some cheese. We definitely have to get rid of those because they're not gonna last.
So I got the sandwich. All right, guys, Are you excited about the trip tomorrow?
Do you know where we're going?
Hurry!
Florence, Italy. Then we're taking a train up to Milan, Italy. Then we're taking a train to Paris, France. Then we're flying over to Munich, Germany. And then we're flying down to Rome, Italy.
Now we know that Brooklyn is most excited about Paris. Colt, which city are you the most excited about?
Rome, because it's probably gonna have the most lizards and it's very cultural and I love culture.
I really appreciate that he mentioned culture. I mean, we're getting through to these kids.
Hey, Brooklyn, you're gonna love Milan. And actually, we're gonna meet with Sylvia, our guide from last time we were in Florence, when we get to Florence this week, and she's gonna give us a fashion tour of Florence. Then we go up to Milan, which is the fashion capital of the world. You're gonna love it, right?
I am looking forward to learn more about Milan. And I also am very excited for Paris because I really want to eat the croissants under the Eiffel Tower.
This is really gonna be a trip for you, Brooklyn, because in addition to the fashion stuff, we're going to Florence again, which of course is the birthplace of the Renaissance. We're going to a completely new gallery, Accademia. So we're gonna see a lot of the new artwork. Brooklyn's been taking art in school, so she's studying a lot of the same stuff that we're gonna see in Italy.
I know it's for me. After all,
We do not have favorites. We're gonna have some hot chocolate for dessert. We love having hot chocolate on a cold day. We're doing pretty well. We ran out of milk, all gone, and now we've used up the rest of the silk milk, oat milk.
Okay, who wants to play a game tonight?
yeah, let's play Look It. I have created a game where you have to guess or know everything about me. What my favorite color is, animal, spirit animal, and who's the best.
Wait, you created this?
Yes.
How did you, this is beyond me. Do you ever feel like your kids are better with technology than you are? I do.
Okay, well, let's get started.
She has 190 points. Wow, Dad.
Where'd you come up with these questions and answers? They're all wrong.
I won! I won!
Best mom I ever.
Okay, let's play one more round and then I have to go do laundry, okay?
Okay.
Game night is over, so while Phil's doing laundry, we're gonna get the kids to shower. I'm gonna wash my face and get my PJs on. For my nighttime routine, my face wash, my moisturizer, all of that stuff, I have 2 sets of everything. And the other set is in a toiletry bag, ready to go, ready to be packed. So I never have to say, oh, I can't pack until I brush my teeth, or I can't fully pack until I wash my face. I call it my go bag.
I never sleep as well if I don't have a chance to tuck the kids in, so let's go see what they're up to. Hello, honey. What you doing?
Drawing.
Can we see?
I'm turning Circus Baby into Nightmare Balloon Boy. I'm trying to make them together.
Love you, honey.
I love you too, Daddy.
Hey, bud.
Hi.
What you doing?
Watching YouTube and stitching.
Okay, so how many wallets do you have now?
4, but I've sold 12.
You've sold 12.
I have some more different styled ones over here.
We leave tomorrow and it feels like we still have a million things to do. We do have a million things we still need to do. But Phil and I are gonna cozy up in bed with our laptops and look at our comments from viewers like you. We love reading our comments.
Gonna be some good ones tonight, I can sense it. 542, dude casually grabbed gecko. Like, I'm a Filipino and most of us are afraid of these nocturnals because we thought they bite like they never let go and they hold you with their crazy claws. I think most of us are wrong. Everybody comments about Colt grabbing lizards wherever we go.
The kids are very blessed to have a life like this. Such a beautiful, smart family. Good luck to all your travels. That is so sweet. And you know what? Our kids are insanely lucky to have a life like this. And we hope that as they grow up, they realize that and they have appreciation for it. I know they appreciate it, but I hope they really appreciate it.
I'd say we're gonna blow through a couple of hours doing these replies, which is pretty typical for an evening for us. We'll put on a little television, maybe a Christmas movie or something, finish folding our laundry, and then hit the sack. It's actually gonna be a really long travel day tomorrow, getting up very early. So we're gonna call it, we'll see you in the morning. My morning routine is pretty consistent. The first thing I do is get up in the morning, come down here, grab an energy drink. The Rock doesn't sponsor us, but I try to go with Zoa because it's better for you than the Red Bull I had been doing year after year. And sometimes I get my supplements going. And then I sit down at my computer to catch up on news and to read through some stuff that I call my story, which is just like a daily journal / reminder sheet that I like to do to start off my day right.
I also have some vitamins in the morning and I put it in my coffee. I'm not crazy about coffee. I just want one amazing cup every day. I don't drink it all day long. And then I will sit on the couch and go through emails, editing if I have episodes to edit, and trip planning always, constantly trip planning. And right now we're still working out the final tweaks for our next big adventure after Europe, and that'll be in Southeast Asia again.
I typically wake up anywhere from 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m., just depending on what I'm doing at that point in my lifestyle with work or whatever. And I typically wake up that early without an alarm. I've always been a morning person, and I think a lot of it comes down to really enjoying that time in the morning before everybody else is awake and up and begging for my attention, and being able to get some stuff done, whether it is some work or some news or some inspiration, any of these things. And it just depends on any given day as to what I focus my time on the most. I definitely believe in the mentality that you should not jump straight into emails because that's putting the priority for your day on other people's needs instead of on your own. But it really just depends day to day as to how well I stick to that. The story that I was talking about is this: 9 pages of single-spaced typed reminders that I've built up over the years that I review every single day so that I don't forget. There are things in life where maybe they motivate us for a day or for a week, but as we make changes to our lives, whether that's going on a vacation or changing a job or moving your home, we tend to forget. So I write down the most important ones to me, the most motivational or inspiring ones for me, and then I review them every single day so that it really ingrains them in my brain, regardless of what's going on with complexities and distractions anywhere else. And this is what I do while I'm finishing off my pre-workout drink, and then I hit the gym. Now, workouts have been a big part of my life for about 15 years. It's just a huge priority. And over that period of time, I've gone from everything from lots and lots of professional gyms to having our own legit in-home gym. And there's always that trade-off where an in-home gym can be great because of the convenience, but you typically don't get as good of a workout because you don't have the variety of equipment that you have in a real gym. When we bought this house, I had a membership at a gym that was a couple of miles down the road, so I always had to deal with getting up and driving, especially in bad weather. That wasn't great. Then we discovered the Tonal, and I think this is the best workout experience we've ever had. Yes, there are little trade-offs, but for the most part, this is just the best of all worlds because it's so small, but it's also so versatile that it can give you more exercises than we could get with all of our professional at-home gym equipment before. The equipment is minimal. We got the batch that has the bench right here, and then you've got the 2 handles right here. You have a rope, and we've got a barbell. And with those, we can do 90% of the exercises that I would like to do at a gym. And they're all smart devices. This one allows you to start and stop right here. These have buttons built in right here. And the cool things about a Tonal compared to any other kind of workout are, number one, it can adjust based on what it reads through every single movement you're doing. So if you're having a hard time, it uses spotter mode, which means it can lighten that load a little bit to make sure you get out those few extra reps. It also tells you about the specific power that you're exerting on every single rep, and that can be different from left to right. So it gives you insights into your workouts that you couldn't really get in any other gym scenario. It also connects to my Apple Watch via Bluetooth, so it can take measurements of heart rate and everything else that the health app on here tracks, and then it builds it into the workout. So in terms of tracking daily exertion, exercise goals throughout the day, it's all dynamic.
And we're back.
Good morning, sweetheart.
Hey, buddy. My post-workout breakfast is usually a protein shake, and sometimes the kids want to eat some, especially this morning because we already took care of all of our milk to get rid of it before the trip, so they can't really do cereal. They've got some yogurt. Sometimes we'll do waffles, pancakes, whatever. But this morning, I'm gonna make them some shakes. I really like these berries that have the kale in it, so we get fruits and vegetables. And I don't use very much. Use a little bit more today since I'm making 3. And then I do some supplements, like a tablespoon, maybe more because I'm making extra this morning, of cacao nibs, some goji berries, some chia seeds. And if it's just me, I will do some saw palmetto and some creatine, but those aren't really good for kids, so I'm gonna skip them. We'll do our protein powder. This one's one of my favorites, organic. I think it's from Costco. I will do 3 scoops today since I'm making extra.
Can we put some peanut butter in it?
Grab it, let's do it. A little bit of peanut butter for Cole. Usually I do 100% oat milk, almond milk, whatever. I'm just gonna use the very last of this, and it's not quite enough, so I'll use water for the rest.
Good morning, Lenny. Morning.
You only taste peanut butter?
And I'm gonna use up the rest of the eggs and the bacon. As soon as the kids are done, they're gonna get started on school. It is a Wednesday, so they have school. They do an online academy. They do it from their iPads or their laptops, and they can travel with it. So they're gonna do a little school now, and then they'll start again when we're in Florence. Pro tip, leave enough time to run the dishwasher and unload it, because if you leave it in there and the dishes don't dry fully while you're gone, it could mildew, and if you put dirty dishes in it, they'll get moldy. We've had both, so learn from our mistakes and run it ahead of time.
Erin and I divide and conquer when it comes to homeschooling the kids. It's an online program. They have teachers, but when they're doing their self-guided work throughout the week, one of us is actually helping them with each one of their lessons whenever they need help. And then they just have occasional live lessons and connection points with their teachers via email or via Zoom.
All right, so today you need to finish the Delta Math and your class kick. And if you have time, maybe do social studies and you're done for the day.
One of the most important parts of our day is the morning huddle that Erin and I have. And we call it the walkie-talkie because we usually go for a walk around the neighborhood and talk about ABC strategy. We're not doing that today because it's 12 degrees Fahrenheit out and that's about -11 Celsius, I think. So we're staying inside, but this is where we have a chance to just catch up on all things strategy, talk about what we have on our plates for the day, and address any other outstanding items that require discussion. We have an hour scheduled every single day, and it's where we get a lot of stuff done to make sure that we're on the same page and to make sure that we're staying on track in terms of things that need to happen with the channel and with work in general.
As far as the planning goes, I'm putting our Asia trip aside just for while we're in Europe, and we still have to iron out Paris.
And Rome, to an extent.
Yeah, nothing like last minute.
Okay, time for me to start packing, and I have a really distinct methodology here. I used to forget something on a trip. It could be collar stays or a pocket square if I was taking a suit. Annoying little things that can ruin the entire outfit or a certain experience if I forget them. So, I created a trip checklist in Apple Notes, and now I use this every single time that I'm packing, and I never forget anything. One of the first things on here, actually, I need to leave the house for, and that's I've got to go get some food for Colt's geckos.
Can we get 70 small crickets? Thank you.
All right, so Colt has 2 geckos. They are Madagascar giant day geckos. They live in this really cool terrarium that we built, and almost everything's automated. The one thing that's not automated, crickets. So today we're giving them 70 because we're gonna be gone for a couple of weeks, so they need a little bit of extra. First thing we have to do is put calcium powder on them.
Oh, wow. Hold on. You see, they're ready.
The other things that we did for automation, we've got lighting, so 2 kinds of lights up here, one for heat and then one for like Vita rays that they need. We've hooked both of those up to a really cool timer-based strip down below, so they come on and off at the same time every day. And then the other thing that we have in here is a mister system. Especially in Colorado, it's very dry. You have to keep them moist, so we have the water mister. So this is our water reservoir. We put distilled water in here, and we want to make sure that it's full before we go on a longer trip like this. Otherwise, it runs out of water, and then we'll have a problem. We use distilled water so that the calcification doesn't build up on the sprayers. And that's basically it. So it pulls from that whenever it needs to. It's twice a day. and they're very self-sufficient, other than us needing to give them more food every couple of weeks to keep them alive.
Sometimes when we're not on vacation, we'll feed them baby food and they will eat that up.
All right, back to the rest of the packing checklist. Here's what we have. Camera cage and light for night food tours. Since we're doing some night tours on this trip, I want to make sure that I have the light for the camera so we can get really good footage. I have to get that, so I'm gonna uncheck it. Offload Erin's episodes from her Mac. We already did that. Gotta take out the trash and recycling. Gotta get my supplements. So I'm taking all of my pill supplements. Sometimes I'll take a little Ziploc bag full of creatine. It's just a white powder. You can do the math on that. I'm surprised I haven't been pulled aside for secondary screening yet. I'm gonna take my vest today, and then I think I'm gonna take my biker jacket and my blue jacket. Shoes and sneakers, I'm going to take the Air Force Ones today, and that's it for sneakers. Mac and cash. I love this part. I tell Erin that this part makes me feel like Jason Bourne. We have cash for every location where we may go. Euros. Oh, and in case you think we're stupid for showing you this, there's probably a grand total of like $200 in there. It's not worth it. Workout bands so I can exercise on the go, check. Charge our batteries, check. A lot of this stuff is for when we're doing water-based trips like the scuba gear and the dry bag. We don't need any of that. Sunblock, everything we're taking care of. Pretty much everything else for me is going to be clothes. I have a secondary bag that carries the drone and GoPro and other filming equipment. We have Apple AirTags in almost everything, so if it gets stolen or lost, we know exactly where it is almost all the time. Now we've just got a lot of packing to do, and we don't have much time left, so I'm gonna get to it.
My challenge will be to see if all my clothes will fit in this one bag. Well, it looks like I did it. The secret to packing, I had to switch out the medium bag for a large bag. That's how it goes.
Looks like I'm making it 2 with a medium-sized bag. 2 down. I gotta pack my new glasses. You're gonna see a lot of these. In fact, in this episode, you're seeing a lot of them. These are actual glasses so that I can read close up, see far out, and they are transitions lenses, so they're gonna look like sunglasses when I'm outside, and sometimes, apparently, even when I'm inside, if there's enough light. Don't be confused.
7 minutes, and I've got to get these dishes unloaded. The Uber's gonna be here, or the Lyft. The Lyft is gonna be here, and we're out the door on our way.
About to leave, already packing, come with me. I'm not
Just about 20 minutes to get to the airport. That'll put us there 3 hours before a flight takes off nice and early. We like to be early, that's our style. We're either on time or early, never late. Thank you so much.
Have a good day, very good flight.
Being at the airport feels like home for us. We're here all the time. We get to go straight to the front of the line with Premier 1K, and it's just faster service.
So in and out, although I have to say, even though I think that the 1K Premier check-in is higher touch, in our experience, it's not any faster and not really any easier. You pretty much don't have to do any of the computer work yourself. You don't have to tap on the screen or scan passports. They do all of that for you, which is nice. But they also only have maybe 1 or 2 people working there in most instances. So there have been a number of times when the wait just to get up to a ticket agent is longer than what it would be if you went through the normal line. So, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on the value of that part.
Now that we're going through security, we have pre-check and clear, so that should be a breeze. We usually go to the Centurion Lounge, but today, for the very first time, you're not gonna believe this, we have never been to the United Lounge in DIA until today. Right away, hot cocoa. Ooh, that sounds good. I want some too. Got it. Looks like a nacho bar over there. I saw some wraps on the other side. Salad, some cookies. I'm starving. I got some chili. It wasn't a nacho bar. It is a chili bar and some chips to dip it in.
Well, aside from the M&Ms, which are phenomenal, I'd say that our first experience in the DIA United Lounge is so-so. It's no Centurion Lounge, but got some free food, free M&Ms, and we're gonna be on our way. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know that it wasn't exactly a sit-at-home kind of day in the life, but when you travel as much as we do, this is pretty typical. So we're excited to get on our flight, get to Europe, and hopefully you'll follow us along. So please consider hitting that subscribe button.
See you in Paris. See you in Florence.
See you in Rome and Milan.